What's going on, people? This is Shok. Really quick video because there's not too much to say. I know I'm a little late with this, but you guys are still up. If you're on West Coast, it's still early as hell, so whatever. But I will be doing my live reactions to the Nintendo Direct tomorrow. I believe it is at 5 p.m. Central Time, which would make it 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and then, of course, 3 p.m. Over there on the West Coast. So, as usual, I will be doing my live reactions to that. This one is going to be 45 minutes long, which is kind of significant because even their digital events that they've been doing at E3 and whatnot have only been 30 minutes. I think one time it was actually even like shorter than that. It was like something like 25 or something like that. So there should be a pretty good amount of content covered. As far as predictions and expectations, I don't really do predictions as much these days because sometimes Nintendo is literally unpredictable. But I'm not expecting too many new announcements. This Direct is going to, it says it's going to focus on the games that are coming out, for the remainder of this year, both on Switch and 3DS. But that also doesn't mean that there isn't going to be anything new because usually, not even usually, I think in every September Direct that they've done, which is always one of the bigger Directs, if not the biggest Directs of the year outside of the E3 Directs, usually there's always been new game announcements. I mean, all the time there's been new game announcements that come along with this. And even more interesting, Kamiya retweeted the Direct himself, so we could either be seeing Switch ports of Bayonetta 1 and 2, which wouldn't be too amazing, but I'm sure a couple people out there might like that and want that, that didn't buy it on Wii U or even, didn't play the first one on PS3 even, or 360. It was a long time ago. You have plenty of time. But hopefully, and not to get my hopes up or anything on yours, but it'd be dope to see a Bayonetta 3 announcement, or maybe even like some type of new IP, who knows. But I'm pretty sure that the very next game they would do on Switch would be Bayonetta 3. Considering Bayonetta 2 was fairly successful on the I was about to say on the Switch, on the Wii U. So did not sell. I believe it sold over 1 million. It's like at 1.2 or something like that, which is pretty damn good given that install base of 2 people. That was pretty much on the Wii, So I'm expecting maybe 1 to 3 new announcements. I wouldn't expect big reveals like, Retro's game and things like that. And oh my God, Metroid Prime 4 gameplay reveal, things of that nature. Those would be like really big hitter, announcements and showings that I definitely think that they would save for E3. Not to mention that I don't even think Prime 4 is in a showable state right now anyways. So I wouldn't expect anything big from Nintendo like that. If anything, I think the majority, if not all of the new content that will be announced for the Switch will probably be from third parties. So it'll be things like ports or, things like Bayonetta 3, third-party franchises that have had, showings on Nintendo platforms that Nintendo is going to be continuing with, or maybe it's a new project they picked up, things of that nature. So that's kind of what I'm expecting. So probably like 90% of the Direct, I'm expecting it to just be more footage and gameplay details of games that are already announced, such as Mario Odyssey and Xenoblade 2. They might give some indie games a spotlight, although they also did just have the Nindie Direct, so maybe they kind of did that so they didn't have to talk about those things in this one. And hopefully we'll also get some details about the official Nintendo Switch Online that will be launching next year. Maybe some features coming along. There was that rumor about the whole achievement system, and as we all know, Nintendo also they delayed the launch for the online service as well. So maybe that's one of the reasons why they delayed it, because they wanted to add new services and features to it. And since it got delayed, I'm feeling that it has a higher chance of being discussed and detailed in this Direct, since there's going to be a longer wait for it. You know what I mean? So Nintendo doesn't do this often. They don't really talk about, the operating system and features and stuff like that. Us as Nintendo fans, we don't get that. We don't get new features and stuff like that. Not any truly significant big ones like that anyways. But it'll be really cool to see Nintendo actually talk about updating features and, new things coming to the OS and, things of that nature, because we don't really get those things that often. You know what I mean? But those are pretty much my expectations of the Direct. Again, I will be streaming it over at my Twitch. Link is always down below in the description. And also, by the time this video goes up, I should be live over at Twitch. I'm going to be playing some Injustice 2 because Black Manta just came out, and Black Manta is like one of my favorite DC characters. Not even just villains, but characters. I just think he's really cool. So I'm going to be practicing him. Probably going to hop into some ranked or maybe player matches with him. probably wouldn't want to go to rank with him just yet. It's day one. So it's gonna be that. I might play some Rainbow Six Siege because a friend gifted that to me on stream. So I'm going to get around to playing that. And PUBG, which I usually play all the time on Twitch. So if you guys are interested in those games, I might do some Sonic Mania later on too, as well as some Tekken 7. Who knows? But if you're interested in those games, go ahead and head over to my Twitch, guys, and I'll see y'all there. And that's for this video. Thanks for tuning in.